In all seriousness, I have not even read this entire thing yet because I don't need to read this horseshit. I know exactly what these morons are going to say almost every single time. For context, someone posted a cute, goofy video of their dog in a costume, and it was Harry Potter related. And this fucking moron, who I'm pretty sure is English, by the way, commented on it and was like, "Don't let your dog be a vehicle of transphobia." And I'm like, oh my fucking God. These people are so mentally ill that they are seeing a dog in a costume and saying that a dog can be a vehicle of transphobia. What the fuck? Anyway, we'll read the comment. Okay. And I told her, I was like, why are you prioritizing transgenders over your fellow women, you idiot? I don't think I said idiot, but it's entirely possible that I did. Anyway, okay, so this brainwashed liberal transgender worshiper said this: there is no prioritization, if we want to live in a world where all minorities are guaranteed human rights, we cannot leave any marginalized community behind. This is called intersectionality. Okay, again, that's just brainwashed liberal all talk. They love to like throw out all the words they know that are hip and trendy without actually knowing what they mean. But anyway, to say that standing up for trans rights is anti-woman is a falsehood. No, it's a fact, you fucking moron. Transgenderism is anti-woman. I don't know how else to tell you. Like, we have countless examples, okay? We really do. I don't know if you guys saw that clip that was popular quite a few weeks ago of this woman made a video of a transgender in a women's bathroom jacking off. She just went into the bathroom normally and she could see this guy's shadow clearly in the stall in a women's bathroom in a gym. And dipshits like this Insalaf advocate for that. Okay? If you also confront them and say, like, well, what about the perverts who dress up like women to get into women's bathrooms because they're perverted? They're like, that never happens because they're brainwashed. Anyway, trans rights is anti-women, but anyway, and the opposite. To say that standing up for trans rights is anti-woman is a falsehood and actually the opposite of the truth. People born women can also be trans. Oh, really, moron? Really? I never knew that until you wrote it to me in an Instagram comment. And anti-trans legislation harms all people. No, the fuck, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Why are they making this up? It hurts the 1 or 2% of people who are transgenders because their parents weren't man or woman enough to give them fucking boundaries. Okay? Let me explain. This means that laws regulating bodily functions, bathrooms, in public. Is that regulating bodily functions? Okay. Actually put more cis women in harm's way. Anyone who calls real women cis women is a moron. Anyone who calls real women cis women is an idiot. Anyone who calls real women cis women is not living in reality. Okay? There is no such thing as cis women. There are only real women and fake women. There are only real men and real women. That's how it is. And everyone knows that, but these really brainwashed transgender warriors go around acting like they don't. I'm so sick of it. Anyway, actually put more cis women in harm's way. Trans men, born women, transitioned to men. Oh, I never knew that's what that meant, you idiot. Are now supposed to use the women's restrooms by law because the law states use based on gender assigned at birth. This doesn't make sense. This means anyone who passes as male, trans or cis men can enter a woman's restroom without question. Wait, okay, what? This means anyone who passes as male can enter a women's restroom without question. What is she talking about? I thought she was going to say that trans men have to use women's bathrooms. Oh, and that's such a problem. But what the fuck is she saying here? Okay, trans men, born women, are now supposed to use the women's restrooms by law. This doesn't make sense. This means anyone who passes as male, trans or cis men, can enter a women's restroom without question. Well, yeah. And that's the problem. Did she unintentionally name the problem here? Anyway, she's not making a lot of sense. This is really just word salad. Okay. Additionally, if any cis woman doesn't look woman enough, she will be harassed and her gender questioned. Okay, no the fuck she won't. You guys, we are hard fucking wired to tell someone's biological sex the moment you lay eyes on them. Even if you have horrible vision like me and I'm looking at someone without my glasses or contacts, yeah, I know for a fact if that's a woman. There's only been one time in my entire life where I've looked at someone and been like, is that a man or a woman? But one whole second later, probably not even that, I was like, oh, that's just a mannish looking woman. Everyone can tell someone's sex upon looking at them. Everyone can. Okay? I mean, it is a little bit more tricky just with transgender surgeries and mutilations. But once you actually start talking to someone, and not even that long, once you know the characteristics of what people look like, it's not fucking hard at all. You see immediately what their sex is. It's not a secret. The fact that these transgender warriors live in denial of that fact is real stupid. That's almost like saying you don't know when a burner is hot on the stove. You can't tell. Just because it's red doesn't mean it's hot. Just because the dial is on doesn't mean it's actually, that's how ridiculous this is. Anyway, also, I've never seen a butch woman harassed in a bathroom. I don't think that's ever occurred to any woman to harass a butch woman in a bathroom because she's butch. This woman is making this shit up. Anyway, doesn't look woman enough, she will be harassed and her gender questioned. This has already happened several times in various states in the U.S. No, the fuck it hasn't. I've never heard of that happening, and I never will. Because it doesn't fucking happen, you idiot. Okay. And women-born women are paying the price. Now they, too, cannot pee without other people policing their self-expression. What? What if a butch-looking woman had a mastectomy and now wants to pee in public? Well, no one can pee in public, actually, for the most part. That's pretty illegal. You can't just go to the bathroom on the sidewalk. You have to go to an actual bathroom to do that. Okay? Should she not be allowed to because she might be outwardly perceived as non-binary or male? Yeah, this is word salad. She's making all this shit up. Okay, you know what? This is actually a pattern with liberal laws I've noticed, is that they make up these really involved fantasies that could happen theoretically, right? But then they present them as fact and they've happened. This woman said that this has happened several times in various states in the U.S. I've never heard of that happening. No one has ever heard. Who has ever heard of that happening? Butch women being harassed in women's bathrooms? Not me. Additionally, when someone stops them to question their gender, how will they determine this? Will they strip people down? This certainly doesn't make women safer. It makes them more prone to harassment and assault. Okay, dipshit. Like I said, we're hardwired to see someone's sex upon laying eyes on them. No one can get around that.
unless you're visually impaired. And even if you're visually impaired, you know what? I bet men and women smell differently. And I bet that a visually impaired person could definitely tell a man from a woman. It's not hard. Okay. Will they strip people down? No, dipshit. They'll fucking look at their ID. Because now you can't have an ID that says you're wrong sex. Ha ha. Okay. This certainly doesn't make women, actually, I don't know if that's true in every state, but hopefully it'll be soon in every state soon. This certainly doesn't make women safer. It makes them more prone to harassment and assault. So is she saying that women are at risk of being assaulted and harassed by other women because some of them are butch? I think that's what she's saying, and she's fucking goddamn wrong. Okay, if protecting women is important to you, please read more about how, about intersectionality and how, when all marginalized communities stand together, we can make a real impact and change that can benefit everyone. Women can't even stand together. Dumb shit women like you are letting men into women's spaces, and you're calling that feminism? You're calling that intersectionality? I also love how liberals do this. They always say, well, what about the studies, or what about the academic research? Guess what, dipshit? You should be able to argue your point in simple language and not have to cite a goddamn source about it, okay? This is normal conversation that anyone should be able to have with anyone in person, but you can't just, are you really going to say to someone in person, you should read more about intersectionality so that you understand what I'm saying better? Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. Okay. I did call her a dumb bitch, but she had it coming. She said, I'm sorry you are feeling so afraid of trans people. I encourage you to look inside yourself and ask, why don't I want everyone to be equal? My views are based on academic literature from multiple disciplines. Sorry, that was my dog. Do you want to come up? Come on up. Good girl. Okay. Her views are not based in reality, therefore. At all. Her views are based on academic literature from multiple disciplines. No, they're not. They're from one discipline. It's the one that agrees with her. Why don't I want everyone to be equal? So she discerned from me saying that transgenderism is wrong and J.K. Rowling is right, that means I don't want everyone to be equal? Okay. As to the cis women who have been harassed, you can find their stories online. For example, stories have been reported by NBC, CBS, Vogue, Washington Post, etc. I've never seen any of them. Additionally, you didn't reflect on any of the points regarding trans men, which I encourage you to also reflect on. If your goal is protection of women, cis men are the most likely to do harm. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. And you're denying that fact by using stupid fucking terms like cis men when there are only men and women. You fucking idiot. You're much less likely to be assaulted by a trans person than a cis man. If anything, trans people are the most likely to be victims of sexual assault. Institutes like UCLA provide this data. Okay. I wonder when I'm going to be able to stop saying this, because I know for a fact that I've said this more than 40 times, maybe more than 400 times in all my videos and all my years on YouTube, that the most likely people who are trans to be victims of sexual assault and general violence are men pretending to be women working as prostitutes. I 1000 fucking % guarantee you that's what the institute like UCLA provided that data. These same people say stuff with kid gloves on it, like sex worker.
And they're in denial of the fact that prostitution is wrong because they're brain rot liberals. They're so liberal that their brains fell out. I'm not afraid of trans people, okay? They're all mostly autistic and mentally unwell. And I am not autistic and I am mentally well. Putting that out there. I love how people are like,
oh, you don't like transgenders? Well, that makes you transphobic.
I'm not afraid of them. What the fuck are they going to do to me? Nothing. Zero. They're not going to do anything to me ever at any point, except maybe try to harass me and fail. Have you guys also noticed how frequently Tims, trans-identified males, like if someone says you're not a man, they'll immediately say, I'll beat you up. That's not something a woman would generally do. But they immediately refer it back to their male behavior because they're sexist, because they worship sexism. I actually don't think this woman is an insulaf. I think she's a dumb fucking Yankee. But I'm a smart fucking Yankee, okay? I'm so done with this shit. This is, again, just regurgitated, reiterated bullshit, and she's convinced that this is the right thing to say. These are the right things to say. She's making a difference. She's helping people. Again, I've never in my life heard of a butch-looking woman getting harassed in a bathroom for being butch. Ever. I don't think anyone's ever heard of that, probably because it doesn't fucking happen, you dumb, liberal, tranny pandering bitch. You're welcome.